Hello everyone, I am Professor Nikhil Varma and today we are going to discuss the traditional retail formats which is a part of your second unit of retail management. What exactly are the traditional retail formats? Uh, the Indian sector, the Indian retail sector, like discussed before, is majorly controlled by the traditional and the unorganized formats of retailing. Okay. These formats have emerged and developed with the growth of population in the country in rural and semi-rural areas. That means with age, these have developed depending on the growth of population of those areas. However, the weekly bazaars have been existing since a very long time. Kirana shop or otherwise known as Baniye ki dukan, mom and pop store, these are the family run shops, small retail shops which are run by family, etc., are traditionally run and do not enjoy professionalism. Definitely, you might have experienced, you might have visited a convenience store at the corner of your house, and you try to order something. You can't expect professionalism from those guys. It all depends on their mood. If their mood is good, they're going to talk to you very nicely. But if their mood is not that great, you don't know what response you're going to get from that person. You might have had such a personal experience as well. That sometimes they talk rudely to you, um, and you really don't like how they talk. Or sometimes they are overwhelmingly good to you, and you're like, "Aaj kya ho gaya isko?" So such things happen here. You can't expect professionalism the way you expect in the modern retail formats where people greet you, welcome you, make you feel special, and stuff like that. We'll look at some of the traditional retail formats that we have in India. Hawkers, peddlers, and street vendors. The thelas that you see, the push carts on which you eat pani puri or chaats, or you buy vegetables. All those come under this category. So this has been there in India since a long, long time. You see hawkers, peddlers, and street vendors everywhere. Peddlers, at least you see set up their small uh, open air chaos kind of a thing, where they put a blanket at the floor, and they put their stuff that they are selling on that uh, blanket. And so these have been there in India since a long time. Any kind of cloth, it doesn't only have to be a blanket. Any kind of cloth has been put on the floor, and then on that they put um, their stuff, that they are uh, products for display, and then they sell it. So street vendors, on the other hand, are those guys who go street to sell their produce. These are basically agricultural produce that are being sold, or uh, fruits that are being sold using these formats. Sometimes even uh, you will even see clothes being sold like that. So there are a very few types of or few categories of products that are being sold under this particular format. Next is hearts, or otherwise known as weekly markets. You see weekly markets being set up all over the city, right? Let's take example of our own city, that is Belagavi. You see in on any given Saturday, you'll see a market being set up um, near Sarafgali in Shapur, or if you visit Nathpai Circle, I think it is on a Sunday, if I'm not wrong. And on a Tuesday, you see it being filled near the Ganpat Gully in the city. So there are specific days where on that day of the week, you will see a market being set up in a specific area. So those are the weekly markets. Then we have melas or fairs. This has reduced a bit of late, but this has been a tradition in India to set up melas, or otherwise known as fairs, in various parts of the country in regular intervals. Then mandis, which are set up by the government. These days, you know them famously as APMCs, but earlier we had sabzi mandis, or uh, phal mandi, fruits mandis, and all those things. Then the PDS, otherwise known as the ration stores, public distribution system, another traditional Indian retail format. Then you have the khadi and village industries. These have been there since a long time. Then we have independent kirana. These are the mom and pop stores which I told you about earlier. These are usually run by uh, a family. These are family owned. Then you have consumer cooperative stores. So these are all the traditional Indian retail formats that are there in India even till date. Now let us look at what are those reasons that have uh, given a reason, or that has been the cause of emergence of modern retail formats. The first point that we have is change in population structure and choice. Definitely, with more increased population, the demand has increased, and that has led to the emergence of modern retail formats. People have chosen innovation to meet the growing needs and demands of the increasing population of India. Infrastructure development, definitely, because of development of infrastructure, it is not feasible to do business using the same traditional formats of retailing. It wouldn't be profitable because of variety of reasons. However, that has led to emergence of modern retail formats as well. Then you have growing consumerism. Definitely, uh, we are slowly moving from saving to spending country, where earlier the population would focus mainly on saving, but these days they don't focus on saving. They focus more on spending and uh, living in the today. That is, mm, they are not worried a lot about saving, and that is why this has given birth to consumerism, and that has grown rapidly in recent years, and that has also impacted in the emergence of modern retail formats. Status of women, definitely this plays a big part in emergence of modern retail formats. In the earlier days, you didn't see a lot of women working. Most of the women had uh, woodwork. mm, Very few, I mean, very few women worked, and most of the women had the status of an housewife, of a housewife, sorry. And these days, if you see, the number is increased, and we are treating women equally, as that is their right. We are nobody to stop them from working, and they're just experiencing their own freedom, and they are getting more independent these days, getting involved in businesses, workspaces, entrepreneurship, and stuff like that. And uh, since they are also independent these days, um, it has led to more spending, that is even more consumerism, that has uh, contributed to the third point that we discussed some time back, and that has led to emergence of modern retail formats. These days, you see, women, earlier how it used to happen is, uh, since women were working mainly in the house, and they were staying in the house as housewives, they had time to go shop using the traditional means, like visiting the local kirana shop, or going to sabzi mandi to buy. But these days, if you see, since women also have become independent and they are earning, even they don't want to spend time, like going to these traditional formats. There'll be so much rush negotiating, and taking out a fixed slot to buy a certain thing. And in these traditional formats, you never found all those things at one place. However, these days, what women do is, or whatever their week off day is, on that day they choose to go shop whatever they want for the week or for the month. So that has, in fact, brought an impact wherein it has led to the growth of modern retail formats. Then emerging rural market, entry of corporate sector, entry of foreign retailers, technological impact. All these have also had an impact on emergence of modern retail formats. Um, let me talk about corporate sector. Earlier, the corporate sector contributed very little in India, but of late it has grown leaps and bounds, and you see corporate sector being developed in not only tier one but tier two and tier three cities as well. And with the emergence of corporate sector, it has led to a boom in the standard of living. People are now concerned more about uh, their standard of living, and it has increased. And with an increase in the standard of living, definitely people will look at more modern retail formats than the traditional retail formats. Entry of foreign retailers has also played a vital role. You see Walmart, then all these, I'm sorry, all these brands, the big brands that have come to India are all foreign retailers that have come. Like, you have Peter England, then um, you have Walmart that has come in recently. Just to take a few examples. Apart from this, there are numerous other foreign brands that have come in into the retail sector. Jockey is one of them. Then you have technological impact as the last point of emergence of modern retail formats. You see technology playing a major role in all aspects of life these days. So how can retail sector stay away from it? So technology is something that has also um, contributed in the emergence of modern retail formats. That is it for today, guys. Tomorrow we are going to study modern retail formats in detail. Okay. Thank you.